Good morning. I forgot. It's like 8:15, 8:20 a.m. on Monday. I have to register for courses today. Totally forgot. Haven't looked at the classes. Haven't picked them out, and I have to be registered at 8:30. And then I also have to leave the house by 8:50 because I have to go to the Met for class today. And I'm a bit of a mess. I got home last night from a wedding in St. Louis and immediately went to work, finishing my homework, which isn't done, and finishing the edits for the course lunch for Accepted. And I didn't get to sleep until really late, so we're just vibing today. All right, let's get these classes registered. I at least know I have to take this class because this is my thesis class, which at the end of the day is very exciting that I'm finally getting to this point. I say finally like it's been forever, like it's been 4 years of an undergrad when I've only been here not an entire academic year, and I'm signing up for my thesis. I'm too anxious about the day to feel excited about this, which kind of sucks. But it is cool nonetheless that I start writing my thesis. I think I have my classes picked out. I'm going to take wardrobe stories, fashioning, time and memory, and then my thesis writing class. Unfortunately, the class I really want to take isn't being offered next semester, so hopefully I'll be able to take it the semester after next, my final semester. Also, hi, if you're new here, welcome back to my channel. I'm Katie. I go to Parsons School of Design, and do I want to take the earlier class or the later class on Mondays? I go to Parsons School of Design, and I'm in their master's program called Fashion Studies, which is like studying the socio-cultural phenomenon of fashion through an interdisciplinary lens. I'm in my second semester of my first year. It's a 2-year program. We just did midterms and we're already signing up for our classes for next semester, which is the first semester of my last year. I'm gonna start writing my master's thesis, which is wild to me. I think I have an idea of what I want my thesis to be about. It's going to be based off a paper I wrote my first semester and that I've continued to develop my ideas about. And it's 8:30, time to register. Done. If I am recalling correctly, we only have to be registered for 12 units this semester, so I'm crossing my fingers that that's correct. I do not have a 4th class picked out. The idea is that we're going to be gathering our primary source data and beginning to analyze and write our thesis. So that should theoretically take up the time that a 4th class would take. So yeah, I'm registered and now I gotta leave in like 20 minutes to get to the Met on time. And I'm not dressed. I left my makeup in St. Louis because James is still there and he has my suitcase. I don't think I have any clean underwear. So welcome to a morning in this little ADHD grad school girly's life. We're doing great. I really wish I could put on makeup, but it's okay. We look cute anyways, regardless of makeup. I also need a pen. I don't know where anything is right now. Everything has been moved around for traveling. I'm doing great. I'm doing just fine. Sunglasses too, I'll probably need those. Nope, it's sunny today. You know, when you go into archives, collections, anything that holds precious old material, they don't let you use pens because they make permanent marks. So you have to bring a pencil whenever you are getting up close and personal with a museum collection. I think that's everything. I'm not bringing my laptop. Let's go. Okay, bye. Hello, voiceover Katie here. So I didn't really explain what I was doing this day. I was headed to the Metropolitan Museum of Art because my professor who teaches fashion curation used to work at the Met, and she secured us a tour of the Costume Institute library as well as one of the Costume Institute's collections. Now, I was really excited for this day, as you'll hear me talk a little bit more about in the next day, because I'm thinking about museums and collections as kind of the direction I'm thinking of going in. I'm not entirely sure, but I do know that I still love objects. Your girly was, after all, trying to become an archaeologist before switching to fashion studies, so this was a really exciting opportunity for me. We headed downstairs. Here are some of the mannequins that they have in storage, and then this was the Costume Institute library, where they had a wide variety of things that related to fashion. Of course, we have books and reference books, but they also have these documents like sketches of fashion designs. They also had really old fashion plates from a couple of centuries ago. Then we headed into the collections, where I saw some beautiful 17th century court gowns from France, some really cool shoes, and one of them even had an entire hummingbird on it. It was just a great experience overall. I'm in that part of the ADHD cycle where I make a mess out of everything until I finally have the time to manically clean, because I've been so busy. Love walking into my office like this. I honest to God am very, 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 very lucky to have a man like James who doesn't mind the ADHD mess. He's very patient, very patient. It's Tuesday. On Tuesdays, I have class in the afternoon, not until about 2 p.m. It's 10 a.m. Last night, I keep forgetting to vlog once I get home because I have this habit where I get home and I lay down for a little while because the city is just so overwhelming, and I'm usually pretty tired from like class and thinking academically that I need to take a break, and then I forget that I'm vlogging. But as you saw yesterday, I had a field trip to the Metropolitan Museum of Art. We went to the Costume Institute. So we went to the Costume Institute library, and then we also got to see the actual collections. I got to see cool stuff. It's making me like I have so many different things in life that I want to do that I have a really hard time settling on one thing to do, because it's never going to be perfect. It's never going to encapsulate all of the different characteristics that I'm looking for that will like give me fulfillment out of life, because I'm ADHD, and it's really hard to be satisfied with just one thing. However, when it comes to collections management, there are different components, and you have to do like the problem solving, and there's going to be a new challenge every single day. However, it still isn't like exactly like there's no social media work involved and that kind of stuff. Aside from the point, every time I've done a collections visit, every time I've gotten to go behind the scenes, up close and personal with the objects, I've always come away from it feeling so incredibly inspired and excited that I'm starting to get the feeling that this is something I might want to do after I graduate from this program. I haven't really talked much about what I'm going to do after this program, what my plans are. I have the intention of continuing on to get a PhD because my research project that I'm doing for this program is too big to fit into a master's program, so definitely it needs more attention. There's so many more questions I have to ask. Social media has only been examined in fashion and secondhand fashion in a very limited capacity, and I think that it needs to be addressed more. So I have full intentions of applying for a PhD at some point. I am burnt out on school, and James wants to get his master's degree, but we didn't want to be in graduate school at the same time. I'm going to take a break from school and work and support James while he's doing his master's degree once I graduate. Because of that, I've had the thought in the back of my mind of trying to figure out what it is I want to do in the interim. Now that I've had a little bit of experience looking at things like fashion, writing and journalism, and working in social media with fashion, working in industry, and collections management, curation, education. I think collections management is where my brain lights up the most. I do still really like education and like kind of the impact of museum education that can have on like an audience, and so I'm still interested in doing that kind of stuff. Anyways, that was really long-winded. In a lot of classes in grad school, at least in my experience, professors will often ask students to do the readings and then develop a presentation about the readings to give to the class, rather than the professor lecturing. It gives us the opportunity to work on our critical reading, critical analysis skills, synthesis skills, presentation speaking skills, discussion leading, all that kind of stuff. So I actually really enjoy it, and I signed up for the week where we talk about vintage, which you guys know I love. I have a couple of slides I need to finish up before I go into school this afternoon. I'm going to write out my bullet points a little bit more neatly so that they flow better, because I was kind of stumbling over my words when I was giving the presentation to James. So I'm going to figure that out. I'm going to enjoy my coffee. I'm going to get dressed. I'm going to dress vintage today because I'm presenting about vintage. That's that. Good morning. I'm so sorry I talked so much. I've been in a really talkative mood lately. When am I not in a talkative mood? That's a better question to ask. Plus, I feel like there's so much to say because I haven't vlogged in 2 weeks, but I need to stop getting distracted, letting myself procrastinate. I have to do a section on commodification, and I really don't want to do it because I don't understand commodification, so I'm going to stop stalling. I'm going to get to work. I'm running late to class, and honestly the thing I'm the most upset about is not the fact that I'm late on a day I'm presenting, but that I don't have time to say hi to the cemetery across the street from school. Rushing to get to the classroom. I'm not usually late, but life is life lately. I wore like a 60s, 70s dress for giving a vintage presentation. I think it's very clever, but I gotta go. Okay, bye, wish me luck. Alright, class is over, gave my presentation. I'm currently on the way to meet James at the New York Public Library. He's waiting for me at the park behind the library, and then we're gonna go to a bookstore, grab something, maybe grab some drinks, and then head home. Alright, we've made it to Bryant Park. Salesforce Tower to my right, New York Public Library to my left, and we are looking for a tall man wearing a black jacket sitting by the back of the library. And I hope I find him soon because my phone is dying.